3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So I'm going to see if I can make a cute little character in an hour. All right, so I like this sphere. I'm going to put 2 thingies on his head. So I'm going to add new spheres that I'm just going to use kind of as antennae or ears. Not exactly sure what they are. Okay. I'm just going to validate that. I'll do symmetry, vertex, vertex. I want to make sure my symmetry is actually on Y, I believe. And then I want to move these away from each other. Maybe I have to do local. Move these. There we go. That's the ticket. All right, so that looks good. I'm going to voxel remesh it. Just because when you kind of stretch out a shape like that, it can be a bit, sometimes it acts a bit funny if you try to smooth it or move it. So we'll just go ahead and voxel remesh it. And then we'll make it a little, just want to stretch it a bit more. So it's just like that. Whoop. Got to turn symmetry off and we'll put it back to auto. So now we can move this down. Let's make it a bit smaller. Okay, so kind of like that. And the head is going to be a little bit more squarish. I'm going to go to symmetry for the sphere. And I want to do, excuse me. I don't want to do bottom and top. I want to do X and Z because Z is back and front. So if I put show line, then I can see the red line and the blue line. That's perfect. So let's do move. And let's just make his head a little more squarish. We'll make it a little wider at the bottom. I kind of love this shape for little character heads. Okay, we want to make sure that also looks good from the side. And we can probably turn Z off if we want to make the front a little bit different, or the back a little bit different from the front. So, but I think that looks pretty good. We're going to take this. I'm going to go back to the X just because that's the default. So I just want to leave it at X. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to rotate it. Sort of like that. Okay, I think that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and add a mirror to this. Actually, let's go ahead and do quad remesher. You know what? I'm probably gonna remesh it to the head, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. Let's just add a mirror, and now we have our mirror. We have our little ear thingies. I'm gonna move them over, maybe down a little bit. Okay, I think that works for me. So the front of this, I'm gonna make a little bit more flat. Okay, I think I like that. I always take a look from the front view as well. Okay, I think that works. I'm gonna do a quick save. This is gonna be, we'll just call him Pinky for now. Okay. And I'm gonna save this spot for now. So I'll add this view and just call it 1. All right, so I'm gonna add a sphere just so I can kind of block in where I think the eyes will go. Probably something like this, I think is pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. I want to make this a little bit wider. Maybe a little bit taller too. I'll push the head down a little bit. Okay, I think I like that. So for the body, I want to do a sort of teardrop. So this is going to be the ears. Let's just go ahead and name all these. This is the head. So we'll just name that. Let's add a body. So we'll make it a sphere. Where's my view? Let's see. And move my view up a little bit now. Okay, so we'll bring the body down. Maybe around there. Go ahead and validate. I want to turn local, and I want to do X and Z again. And we'll just use move. And then we can just kind of suck this part up. And I think I want to turn Z off, since we have the general shape. And now we'll just kind of Uh-oh. Sounds like the cat is having a bad dream again. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll make this a little thinner. But I think that looks pretty good. Make it a little wider. I kind of always make them sort of similar to, you know, our spines. We have that kind of S shape here. Okay, now where do I want it on the body, actually? I think the middle will work. The head actually feels a bit too... I'm going to change the pivot to the front. That way I can stretch it, and it's going to be mostly the back that's going to move. Okay. I think that works. Okay, so let's give him some arms. I think we'll use the good old tube tool. We'll use path. And we'll do something like this. With mirror, we'll go ahead and make this a little thicker. Turn snap off. Okay, and I'm going to add another one here so I can kind of turn this into the body. I think. I kind of want like one of those toys where the arms they can go up and down. That's what I really want to do. Let me take, you know what, maybe I should trim the sides a little bit. If I take lasso and just trim the sides. Seems a little strange, right? Oh, I don't mind that. I'm gonna smooth this out a little bit. You can always voxel remesh it, get it nice and smooth. And I think I'm just gonna keep this arm straight like this. Let's hit radius and make this a little bit bigger. I think I like that. Let's make the legs. Let's use tube again. I think we can start a new one. We'll just use path. And we'll just start some new legs. Let's make sure they're not in the same mirror. So I'm going to pull this down, take this down. This is the arms. And this tube is the legs. So there should only be one now. Yeah, there's only one. It's good. Turn snap off. Otherwise, we won't be able to position it where we want it. Okay, so let's give it a little bit of a bend here. Maybe we'll make this a little smaller. Maybe we'll give it a little bend like this into the body. I think that looks pretty good. We'll make it a little longer just so it goes into his little body. I think that works. Maybe we'll make this a little wider. Make sure I'm on orthographic. I am. So let's add a box for the floor. So we'll just use the gizmo. We'll just make a little pedestal. I'm going to turn smooth shading off. And we'll just move this down here. And actually we can move the whole character up to the horizon line. So let's just hit grid. I'll grab everything, even the cameras, and move it up. So this is right at the bottom. Right around there. Turn the grid off. I'm just going to redo that. Okay, so let's add in, let's see. Let's do a sphere. Let's take it out of the mirror. It looks like it's in a mirror. This will be feet. I don't even know what this is. What is this? Oh, that's the eyes. So we'll go back to the sphere. We'll make it small. We'll stretch it. Let's move everything down a little bit. Oh, I don't want the, where's the box? So let's put the box on the bottom. Okay, this is floor. I don't even think I saved. So let's take all of this, just move it down a little bit. I like to think if he were to stand up, that he would actually stand. So that's how I try to balance these things. Like his leg is too small. Okay, I like that. Also, the head is a bit too small. So the head, this is the body. I just want the head and the eyes. Let's bring the eyes up. The head, eyes, and the ears. Let's bring the ears up since those are all together. So I think I can just make them all bigger. Okay, so we'll do something like that. All right, so, okay. Okay, so for the hand, let's just give him let's give him a sphere for his palm. I need a nice side view as well. Let's call that 2, so now we have 2 and we have 1. Okay, let's smoosh this. So this is going to be kind of like his palm. Okay. Let's move it out on its own. This will be palm. Legs we can mirror. Feeties we can validate and mirror. I did that out of order. We'll take the legs and we'll validate those. I kind of want to give him some toes, but we'll see. We shall see. I think his head is still a bit small, actually. Okay, I think I like that. Eyes, let's make sure they're not on a line. Okay, I think I want something like this. I'm gonna validate. I think I just want like a little more of a, I don't know. It feels right. And I kind of want to make a surface, like make a socket. I guess there's a bunch of ways that I could do it. I could use the eyes as one way to do it. Let's try that. So we need to make a mouth. So let's deal with this face. So let's use mask. Okay. All right, I like that. And I think when I smooth it, it's gonna be bigger. It will be bigger. Let's try to get these eye indentations. I feel like maybe they can be a little smaller. So let's take these eyes, clone. I'm gonna validate this group as the eyes. I'm just gonna put eye X. X is so I know that I'm gonna cut those. So now I'm gonna select the head, hide the eye, do a Boolean. Do I wanna make them bigger? Excuse me. No, let's just do a Boolean. And we'll smooth. Okay, and now I'm thinking if I want to add a little bit of clay to the head in this area. Clay. Whoops, not on sub. even around the eyes. Let's see how it looks when I smooth it out. I think that looks pretty cute. Okay, so let's go back to the mask. Let's invert. We'll move that in and up. We'll flatten it. And I like to make it smaller as well. But I like that, so I'm going to clear the mask. And then we can take this and remesh it. So I'm going to remesh it around 170. Okay, we'll smooth the mouth. Should get a little bigger. I don't see any of those pock marks. And if I did, you know what? I would just voxel remesh it again. And smooth it until they're kind of minimized. But I think that works pretty well. Oh, so the only problem is this mouth thing that happens when you're creating characters. There's like a mouth thing that happens. Because the mouth has to follow certain rules or it looks really weird. Oops. And it's very, very tricky. At least I think it is. It's just like, let me undo. You know what it is? I think it's because the mouth, there's not enough like of the bottom part of the head. So that's the problem. Like that actually looks okay, but it doesn't. I'm trying to think of how to not have that issue. Maybe I'm just like going crazy. I think it's because it's not flat enough here. That actually helped. I think that helped a bit, just bringing this. Oops. I think that helped. So I'm going to smooth it and then we'll see. All right, that's good, but you're not looking happy enough. So of course, for happiness, let's go ahead and make this a little bit more round. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Make the mouth open a little wider. This is on my screen. Okay, it's not bad. I want this to be round though. Yeah, I want to make sure that I maintain that his face is nice and round. Oops. Okay, it's not bad. That is not too shabby. Kind of want his mouth a little bigger though. What am I using? Oh, I'm using flatten. Whoops. I'm meant to be using move. Yeah, this is what you have to be careful of because sometimes it just is uneven. Okay, let's take these and let's move them in a little more in the eye sockets so you can make them a little smaller even. That looks pretty good. I like it. I think I like that. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? Let's take the ears, let's validate them, and the head. Let me do a quick save. And I might just voxel remesh them together. Like 200. Smooth out everything. Okay, let's give them some teefies. Just going to go ahead and mirror, validate. That looks pretty good. I kind of want them a little more squarish, a little more squared off, you know? I'll take flatten. I can't really see. I'll do X-ray. It's a pet peeve of mine when the floor gets in the way. I hate it. We'll just do flatten on this. Oh, that looks horrible. All right, we'll use move instead. Let's try flatten again. Okay, I think that works. I like that. Mouth a little bit wider. I like it. All right, let's add tongue. We'll mirror it. We'll move them away from each other and then angle them towards each other. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't stretch them. That's what I didn't do. I didn't stretch them. I didn't angle them this way. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and validate. Pivot. Center pivot. Whoops, it's inside a mirror. Let's validate this whole thing. Let's call this tongue. Pivot. Auto pivot. Sure. Smooth it. Move it back. Give it a little tilt. That looks pretty cute. The front, however, I made an error. I just want the front to be round, you know? Hey, that's better. Okay, we'll just remesh it. We'll remesh it again. Smooth. Pivot, auto pivot. Right into his little pie hole. Okay, there we go. It's nice. Also, I might want to take layer and just make a layer inside of the mouth. Just to kind of give it some depth. think that works. So we can move this down a little bit more. We can spread it out a little bit more. Okay, we have 20 minutes left. Let's add some pupils. You know what, first, let's just try taking these. Let's try this and cloning it. Let's rename this one P1. Let's take the spheres and just see what it looks like. If we just use these spheres, because they'll be a little bit closer to the shape. So that might be a little easier. This is actually pretty good, to be honest. Do a quick save. Alright, I think his body and everything is a little too... Let's see, mirror, this is the tongue. Sphere, I could delete that. We have P1. So body, palm, all of these, I think we need to make it a little wider. Oh, that's a problem though, isn't it? So we'll make this wider. Let's do a line and just move this and the palm out a bit more. And the legs too. The legs felt a little small. Okay. Just make them a little plump, more plump. Okay, so we gotta make this sword. So turn the grid on so I can just get a straight tube. Do profile. Ooh, there we go. I don't know why that was so difficult. Then why don't I just make the shape of the sword? And then I'm gonna put the post subdivision up 1 so there's more geometry. And then let's validate. So now I should be able to do select mask, rectangle to about here. And we'll make this part smaller. It needs more resolution. So let's just remesh it. All right, let's subdivide it then. Where is it? Here, multi-res, subdivide, oh, that's too big. So we'll subdivide it there. Well, let me do it now. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So now we can do the same thing here and just stretch that down. Tell me that is not a sword. I'm gonna turn this ugly grid off. We'll take the mask and clear it. Oh no, that's it, right? I think that's what I wanted. It's a little thin. I feel like I want it a bit thicker, but I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna solo it. And then let's add a cylinder, let's add a box. Add a box. Oh, is this not in the middle? Hold on. Move origin. All right, let's do pivot, center, pivot. Let's move origin and then move it up. So it's right in the center. I mean, I guess I really didn't need to do that, but. And then we'll make the little hilt or handle, whatever you want to call it. Let's make it softer. So we'll do post subdivision to 2. We'll bring this down. Maybe we'll do 3. Oops. Let's do a cylinder. Okay, we'll do a little something like this. I'm going to turn the subdivision down on that and then clone. We'll add another one here. And then let's add another cylinder. I don't know why I added a new cylinder. I could have just farted around with what I had, but that's okay. Put subdivision to 2. Let's bring this down. We'll make it nice and round. Okay, we'll validate that. Did I validate these? These two can join, and this will be the sword handle. Let's undo solo. Sword, bottom, sword hilt, sword, sword. Palm we can validate. Sword hilt we can validate. Sword hilt and sword bottom. I have to quad remesh this stuff anyway, so sword, let's just add all the swords. Let's nestle them all so that I can easily move it up out of his head. Make it a bit smaller. He must have been climbing out of the... my worst fear is not redoing the frickin', I don't even know what you call it, the focus, not locking the focus. That is one of my biggest pet peeves when I forget to do that. And I record for so long. It's so stressful. Unbelievably stressful. Okay, so we'll select mask, we'll clear. I need to get this thumb now. I think that looks pretty good. We'll clear, and then we'll just smooth. Okay, it looks pretty good. The only thing is I wish that these fingers were like mashed up against the hand a little bit more, but all in all, I think they look okay. So I'm not going to complain. That's not too bad. I just feel like this arm's a little smaller, so I want to make sure it's just as round as the other arm. Okay. Let's bring the floor back. Let's trim the feet. Choose a rectangle, trim right under there. That looks good. So we have the legs, we'll just validate. And the feet we can validate. We'll take these, do a quick save, and then I'll voxel remesh them together. Maybe around 200. Did it work? It worked. Now the feet looks like they raised up a little bit, so I'm just going to move them back down. Of course, I didn't have symmetry on, so I'm going to undo. I wonder if I can give them little toesies. I wonder if I can do it with select mask. Lasso, unmask. Actually never tried to do it this way. Invert. And then maybe select mask again. Ooh. That looked mad. Okay, so that doesn't really work. We tried. We tried. Let's try a good old crease. Try the old crease. It's not too bad. So what happens if we add some clay? Ooh. It's really hard to do without it bleeding into the other toes. But ultimately, I mean, that's pretty good. Oh, you know what? I probably have to connect those to the body, don't I? Let's try it. So the body, legs. We'll voxel remesh them pretty high so that we don't lose any detail. Symmetry is on. Feet don't look that great anymore. I don't know if that was a good decision, because these toes are looking rough, and I don't think any crease is going to be able to help them. It's not bad. It's not terrible. I've never really done feet like that before, or like toes kind of things before. So I would say that that's not bad for my first go round. These are the teethies. Teeth. These are the high whites. We can validate those. Okay. I think it's pretty good. Let's give him a little. Let's give him his little bow tie. Oops. Because why not? Okay, we'll make it a little softer. Smooth, little smoothie poo. I wonder if I can just clone this. Feels decent to me. Let's go ahead and voxel remesh them together. Come on now. Okay, we'll do a little crease, little creasy poo. Okay, let's do a little quad remesher on these. This too. Okay, what about the teeth? Oh, these spheres, I think I made these from the head. I think that's the issue. That makes way more sense. Way more sense. Oh, this freaking symmetry killing me. Okay, teeth. Okay. The head. I don't think the head needs to be that crazy. Yeah, we can cut down a lot of this size. This is the killer, though. That is the killer. I'm going to save. I'm not sure if this will let me do it. Let's see. Let's see if it lets us do half. Okay. 330. Let's see if we can do this. This one is pretty small. Handle. Sword. Let's do the sword again. Oh well, the sword is falling apart, but that's okay. God. It'll be much easier to do in Blender, that is for sure. For sure. Let's try pinch. Okay. Bow A. Bow B. Squish them together a little bit more. Maybe move them away from the skin a little bit. Okay, I feel like maybe he should have something going around. Yes, let's just do a cylinder. Okay, let's just validate it and let's just move. Okay, well, you know what? I can turn symmetry off and kind of move that one because his arms are in a little bit of a different position. So it's okay to reflect that a little bit. All right, I love it. Let's do a little crease. Let's give him some little knees. Unless that looks weird. It does kind of look weird. That looks a little better. Let's do a little inflate behind the arms. Turn symmetry off. Okay, well, let me give him some little elbows. Oh, that looks weird. I don't like the elbows. The elbows didn't look cute. All right. We'll add a tube to path. And we'll just make this smaller. Turn snap off. Okay, just make sure that it's going into the in between the two meshes. Let's do profile. Okay, let's mirror it. I think it looks good. We'll validate. I could probably take some topology off. I can't remember what I did last time. Okay, we'll stick with that. Lashes. Save. All right. Oh, that's 6,000. Let's see what Quad Remesher has to say about that. Oh, it did half and it went up. That's bananas. Oh, no, it didn't. It went to 3,000. Good. Head. How big is the body? The body is 235. Whoops. I guess we should see what it looks like if I was to half it. We'll stick with the little bit clearer version. We'll bring this to lit PBR. We'll switch to something like that. Turn this off, add our light, we'll put it to 2. Maybe I want to do, I want to do 3? Put post-process on. Okay, this is the key. We'll clone it. This is the edge. Nice. Beautiful. Put that up a little bit more. I'm trying to remember to do this now. You press these and switch to camera. For directional lights, switch to camera. Let's add R2. We'll do a line and move this one over here. So a little bit more light on this side. Maybe we'll try to match the background a bit. All right, I love it. Let's turn the environment back on. This is my eye glare environment that I always use. So we'll do it about, I guess it doesn't have to be too dark. I'll do it about there. It's much brighter than I usually do, but I think that's fine. Also, I feel like it should be a little darker inside the mouth, you know? Okay. Do save. And I really like this, so I'm going to turn the floor off. Let's export this. Let's give him some quick color. Just going to join these. Oh, that's the arm. It's huge. That's really big. I don't know why I made it that big. Oh well. Just the body? Way too big. Okay, so the body can be pink, maybe around there. This will be white, maybe a little bit more glossy. This is black with roughness all the way up. Teeth can be white. Tongue can be a tonguish color. This is going to be a nice brown. And also this can be the same color brown. Maybe we'll add a little metalness maybe. Like that. We'll match this. Okay. Pinky. Let's save as and save a new one. Go ahead and do perspective now. Turn it down a little bit. Post process is on. I think we need this denoiser. Pretty good. So we'll export this with a transparent background. Alright, keep going, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video.